Nederland.
Haarlem is a city in North Holland in the Netherlands and is located in one of the most populated metropolitan areas in Europe. The oldest mentioning of Haarlem goes back to the 10th century, and the name itself refers back to the old Dutch name meaning home on forest sand dune. By the 12th century, the village of Haarlem had grown into a fortified town and was the home to the counts and knights of Holland when it received the right to use the noble insignia in its coat of arms. In the mid-13th century, it was granted city status by Count Willem II. In the 1320s, the entire city, then made of wood, burned down and was then eventually built up again over the next 150 years. At the end of the Middle Ages, Haarlem was now a flourishing city with many successful industries and toll shipping routes. In the 16th century, the Spanish started a siege on Haarlem. What made it worse is that the army of Amsterdam sided with the Spanish king. After 7 months of siege, Haarlem surrendered to the Spanish, and the defenders of Haarlem were thrown into Haarlem's Spirne River and drowned. The Spanish finally left in the 1570s, and the Protestants and Catholics of the area were given equal rights. To re-establish the city, the council decided to promote arts and history, as well as diversity for other religions. This attracted many Flemish and French immigrants fleeing Spanish persecution, and kicked off a new golden age for Haarlem. During the 17th century, the city specialized in linen and silk manufacturing, and a canal between Haarlem and Amsterdam was opened. A later canal between Rotterdam and Amsterdam via Leiden also passed through South Haarlem. It was also during the 17th century that Haarlem became a major trading center for tulips, a route through which a canal used to pass through. Today, the replaced train line still passes through the tulip fields. The decline of Haarlem's industry started in the 18th century as more businesses were moving to Amsterdam. Haarlem then became a city where many businessmen and women had weekend and holiday homes. In the late 19th century, a revolution took place and the city was relieved from the United Kingdom of the Netherlands and the House of Orange. The Batavian Republic was then proclaimed. The French then took joint control, and both were automatically at war with England. In the 20th century, Haarlem expanded again, this time all the way to the coast to Bloemendaal. During World War II, the Nazis demolished Haarlem Stadium and executed Haarlemmers who were aiding and hiding Jews, as well as the Haarlem resistors. The Nazis also demolished Haarlem's synagogue and repurposed the Jewish hospital. The situation was so bad in Haarlem during World War II that Haarlemmers had to resort to eating tulip bulbs stored in the sand dunes around the city. After the war, a new wave of Indonesian immigrants came to the city from former Dutch colonies. Today, Haarlem is once again thriving and has a ton of stuff going on. There are museums, theatres, cultural centres, year-round festivals, professional sport clubs, markets, etc., and you can easily get to Haarlem from any other city by train. It's also cycling distance to the beach. Haarlem is also famous for its beers, having been brewing for over 750 years. Another fun fact is that today everyone relates Haarlem with New York, but not many people are aware of the fact that the Dutch were first to colonize Manhattan. The name Haarlem in America comes from the original Haarlem in the Netherlands. Today, Haarlem in the Netherlands' twin city is none other than New York's Manhattan's district of Haarlem. If you've enjoyed this video, why not check out this one, or even this one, or hit the red head to see the whole library.